My dear students, it is very much important to review the application form as a part of the interview preparation. You already have discussed about the interview preparation and the reviewing the application form. But in a previous section, we talked about the review of the application form in context of the recruitment of employee in the organization. But here, we are talking about reviewing the application or resume in the context of interviewing. So these two concepts are very different. One, you review the application or resumes when you were recruiting employees, when you were shortlisting them, but now you are reviewing the application form or resume when you are preparing for the interview. So these two concepts are different, and you should not relate these two things together. You should not mix up these two concepts together. So here we are talking about the reviewing the application form or resume when you are preparing for the interview the candidates in the organization. I hope you would understand what I am saying. So each organization should have an application form. Application form can be in two types. You already know about it. One type is that application form would be the paper-based. Second type, that application form would be the electronic format. So whatever the form of the electronic application form, whether it's a paper-based or the electronic form, that reflects its own environment. That reflects the environment of the organization. So you need to have information on the application form, or another way you may have information on the resume. Some companies have more than one form. There are two major kind of position in any organization. One position is the professional positions, right? For example, executive managers, CEOs, chief financial officers, etc. And there are other positions which are non-professional positions, maybe the labor, or maybe the people who are working on the floor of the industry. So you have two major kind of positions, and these two professional and non-professional positions must have different kind of resume. They must have a different kind of application forms. The environment of the application forms for professional position should be different from the environment of the application form for the non-professional positions. When designing an application form, it is important to remember that all categories must be relevant and job related. Sometimes you are trying to put a lot of information on the application form, and this is just a wastage of time. So it is important to remember that all categories must be relevant and job related. Whatever the categories you are mentioning, it must be job related. This is critical from the standpoint of compliance with equal employment opportunities. My dear students, if you put the sum of the components on the application form which are not related to the job, or some of the components which lead to the biasness, it may go for the non-compliance for the equal employment opportunities. And you know this is very critical if you would deviate yourself from the equal employment opportunities laws and regulation. In this regard, it is very much important to have a familiarity with all laws which are critical in hiring of the applicant. So whenever you are preparing an interview, you must have to put application form in front of you, and you must need to see it critically whether any kind of a job duties and responsibilities have a conflict with the equal employment opportunities laws and other regulations. Resumes differ from application. You know that people start with a blank piece of paper. You can get a blank piece of paper, and then you can write your qualification, your experience, your major jobs and duties and responsibilities, different kind of certificates which you have earned during your previous jobs, your awards, your medals, your conferences attended, all different kind of things you can put on it, as opposed to the forms with a specific question. So resumes, you can mention anything because you are starting on a blank piece of paper, while if you are going for application form, there would be a specific question need to be asked. So consequently, applicants can offer whatever data they can choose on a resume. So resumes are quite open. You can put anything, but application forms are quite specific. That specific question would be asked from you. But this story would not end on it, that reviewing the application or resume would be an important part of the interview preparation. There are a number of things which we need to consider when we are reviewing the application, and in the next session we would come to know about almost 10 major points, that what are the different things, what are the different steps which we must need to take in when we are reviewing the application form as a part of the interview preparation.